Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So look, like I say each and every time, is the chaos stopping? The answer is no, which is why I say subscribe here, raw and unfiltered truth. Subscribe, watch, comment. I want your comments and share with your friends because again, together we'll be able to make a change. Now, yesterday, President Trump was busy. I mean, he had an interview on air with Bret Baier, a press conference on the aircraft, and also attended, of course, the Super Bowl. Now, unfortunately, Trump predicted that the Chiefs would win, and out of embarrassment or for whatever reason, maybe he's busy with all the chaos, he ended up leaving the game an hour early. Now, while he was on Air Force One, on the way to the game, Trump spoke to reporters, and he doubled down on his statements about Gaza and said that he is committed, 100% committed to buying and owning the Gaza Strip. Play the clip.
Mr. President, back on Gaza, the White House press secretary told us last week that you're committed to rebuilding Gaza. Steve Witkoff said that process would take 10 to 15 years. Does your commitment to rebuilding Gaza extend beyond your time in office?
I'm committed to buying and owning Gaza. As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East to build sections of it. Other people may do it through our auspices. But we're committed to owning it, taking it, and making sure that Hamas doesn't move back. There's nothing to move back into. The place is a demolition site. It'll be, the remainder will be demolished. Everything's demolished. I mean, you can't live in those buildings right now. They're very unsafe. But we'll make it into a very good site for future development by somebody. We'll let other countries develop parts of it. It'll be beautiful. People can come from all over the world and live there. But we're going to take care of the Palestinians. We're going to make sure they live beautifully and in harmony and in peace, and that they're not murdered. This has been the most dangerous site anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm not so sure that it's more dangerous than Afghanistan or, Chechnya. But I understand his point. The place is a disaster. I just don't understand, and neither should you, the whole concept of owning a property that doesn't, one, belong to Israel. Two, people own their own properties there. So what are you going to do? You're going to eminent domain the whole place? Again, it makes sense from a 35,000 foot perspective, but it's completely impractical. Now, I also want to go on and show you that a reporter asked Trump if the United States would then take in the Palestinian refugees. Play that clip.
Would you accept Palestinian refugees into the United States since you're looking to other countries to accept them?
I think it's a very far distance for them to travel, but I'd have to look at individual cases. But I do think that coming into the United States, we've taken a lot of people, but coming into the United States, it's a long way for them to travel. They're far away from their families and their friends and everything else. I think they'd be very happy staying in the general area with in a place that was safe, where they could be safe and lead a good life. They don't want to go back to Gaza. As I said, I've said it a lot. They only go back because they have no alternative. They don't want to go back to Gaza. So we'll see. We hope that we'll be helped by Egypt. We hope that we'll be helped by Jordan. We hope that we'll be helped by other countries. We hope that some of the, like Saudi Arabia and others, can spend some money.
Yeah. Again, wonderful statement, no thought out policy. Now, Doug Burgum, the United States Secretary of the Interior, he goes on and he's speaking about turning the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. Play the clip.
We want to thank President Trump. His executive order is what set this in motion. We signed a secretarial order as Secretary of Interior directing the U.S. Geologic Survey, who is responsible for the database, which is the Geographic Names Informational System. And so just prior to this signing, if you will, the button was pushed. It became official with this proclamation to call today Gulf of America Day. But now it's going out. As we're sitting here right now, our team is calling all the map providers, so Google Maps, Apple Maps, all the map people. That change will take effect this afternoon to Gulf of America. So again, fantastic. Thank you, President Trump.
Yeah, thank you, President Trump, because the changing of the name has now brought stability to the world. It has brought the price of eggs down. It has brought the price of gasoline down. It is a major accomplishment. Amazing what one executive order can do now that Google Maps is going to change the name. It's fantastic. Trump also said that he wants to make the United States larger. We're in expansionist mode right now in 2025. Play the clip.
We're making our country larger. We're making our country stronger. And in the case of Canada, if this should happen, I don't know how they can do it without us, because without the U.S., Canada really doesn't have a country. They do almost all of their business with us. And if we say we want our cars to be made in Detroit, with a stroke of a pen, I can do that. And other things in addition to that would not allow Canada to be a viable country.
Disagree. All right. Half my family lives in Toronto, and I can tell you that they have trading partners outside the United States. In fact, whatever aluminum, steel, lumber that America doesn't buy, they'll just sell it to China. They'll just sell it to other parts of the world. Now, Trump also goes on and he speaks about some new tariffs, including that he has decided to impose, again with these nonsensical tariffs, 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports coming into the country. Play the clip.
I'll be announcing probably Tuesday or Wednesday at a news conference reciprocal tariffs, and very simply, it's if they charge us, we charge them. That's all.
When does it go into effect, sir?
Almost immediately, but I'll be announcing the details of it, highly detailed, and it'll be great for everybody, including the other countries. But if they are charging us 130% and we're charging them nothing, it's not going to stay that way.
This is on every country?
Every country will be reciprocal.
And just on the steel question, just so I understand.
We'll also be announcing steel tariffs on Monday.
On this, tomorrow?
Monday, yeah, tomorrow.
What countries will those go on?
Everybody, steel.
Including Canada, Mexico,
Yeah,
United States?
any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum, sir?
Aluminum too.
10%?
25%.
25 for aluminum.
25 for both.
Yeah. Let me be very clear once again to each and every one of you. The tariffs will ultimately be paid for by you and me. We, the American consumers, will ultimately pay. Now, Trump then ripped on Canada once again. He's got this thing with Canada for assuming that the United States will just be here to protect them. Play the clip.
Canada, we'll see what happens with Canada, but the people of Canada would be paying less than half of the tax. If you look at the tax, they're going to be paying less than half the tax. They don't pay very much for military, and the reason they don't pay much is they assume that we're going to protect them. That's not an assumption they can make, because why are we protecting another country? Now, I love the people of Canada. We have a great relationship.
Yeah, he loves Canada so much that even during his interview with Bret Baier, he confirmed, came out and he said it, he confirmed that he's truly serious about Canada becoming our 51st state. Play the clip.
The Prime Minister said this weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen, he was a private meeting, he said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state, because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
Yeah, he's in expansionist mode. Bret Baier then also goes on and asks Trump about what everyone wants to know. When will families begin to feel prices going down? That was a huge, or as he would say, a huge part of his campaign promise. Prices were going to go down immediately within 24 hours of him becoming president. Play the clip.
If all goes to plan, when do you think families will be able to feel prices going down? Groceries, energy, or are you kind of saying to them, hang on, inflation may get worse until it gets better?
No, I think we're going to become a rich. Look, we're not that rich right now. We owe $36 trillion. That's because we let all these nations take advantage of us. Same thing, like $200 billion with Canada. We owe $300. We have a deficit with Mexico of $350 billion. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, okay. Now, if you watched the Super Bowl last night, they had, a bunch of the responders that were there. And it kind of prompted one of the reporters on the aircraft, on Air Force One, to ask Trump about the January 6th defendants assaulting first responders. Play that clip.
You said you didn't want to honor first responders today, but you pardoned hundreds of people who assaulted first responders. Why did you do that?
Who?
You were going to meet with first responders today, but you pardoned people who assaulted first responders.
I pardoned people that were assaulted themselves. They were assaulted by our government. I pardoned J6 people who were assaulted by our government. That's who assaulted, and they were treated unfairly. There's never been a group of people in this country, outside of maybe one instance that I can think of, but I won't get into it, that were treated more horribly than the people of J6. So, no, I didn't assault. They didn't assault. They were assaulted. And what I did was a great thing for humanity. They were treated very, very unfairly. There's never been an incident like that.
Yeah. Maybe that's me he's talking about, the one instance, right? It's very possible because I am the one and only first political prisoner ever held by my own country because I refused to waive my First Amendment rights. And finally, they asked Trump about his conversation with Vladimir Putin. Play that clip.
Sir, can you tell us about your conversation with Vladimir Putin?
I don't want to do that now. No, we're trying to end that war. It's a war that would have never happened if I were president. Would have never happened. But we're making progress, but I can't tell you.
Just imagine, right? He's not going to tell. Nobody knows what conversation was all about. Again, somewhere along the line, the president of the United States fails to acknowledge or even understand that he works for the people. We don't work for him. That's just not how it works. On top of that, you have these two clowns standing there holding a fucking poster board. For what purpose? Basically to show you that they've changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Just imagine that these are cabinet positions. It's truly amazing what this guy has done in a mere 3 weeks. It's why, again, I'm going to repeat. Subscribe, watch, comment, and share with your friends. Because I assure you, the chaos, it's not going to stop. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. We're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.